What's going on, YouTube? We're doing a special. I'm gonna say it's a college edition. That way, it's more of a people person. I'm making my own nachos. Uh, Again, it's gonna be under $10. Right there, as you can see, the very top, I ended up getting thin sliced chicken breast. You'll see it in the pictures of what I've gotten. One jalapeno pepper, 3 cents. Um, Small limes, I ended up getting five. They were five for $1. I got a bulk of large white mushrooms for $1.04. I got a tomato for 23 cents. I got the HEB Casa. That's the tortilla chips. Um, an onion, an avocado, and Mexican cheese. Right there, you see the prices of everything: 2.47, 3 cents, a dollar 4.23. Um, this is more. I'm gonna go with this one. It's more for the college students. Um, you end up going into certain places to go eat, and you want to get the nachos. It's usually the appetizers, and some of them they'll charge all the way up to like $15, and you end up with like two or three. These ridiculous. I mean, they're a big size, but they're not really that filling. Um, these are actually pretty decent. These are actually pretty filling. Had a good amount. Like I said, everything was under $10. If you want to get more, all you have to do is just double what everything I got. So here's the video. As you can see here, it's only for $9.38. This is the meal that we're gonna end up getting. So it's basically the nachos that I mentioned. There's your chips, your jalapeno, your limes. I forgot to mention the limes, mushrooms, tomatoes, all some of the basics. You got to chop up your mushrooms, thin sliced, cut off the bottoms, put everything together. You'll see here in this next picture right here. You can see how they're all thin sliced. There's a reason for that. That way they cook a little bit better. Next, you got to get your jalapeno and you dice it up, cut it in half. Take the seeds out if you don't want the seeds. Chop it like that. You gotta do an onion as well. I forgot to mention that you have to cut up an onion, but you put everything on the skillet like that with a little bit of olive oil. Let it cook. While it's cooking, I used 2 limes to help it, steam a little bit, add a little bit flavor. Here's gonna be a picture of it here in a minute, and that's while it's cooking. It's caramelizing, if you want to call it, just breaking everything down. While the mushrooms are cooking, they are absorbing the jalapeno and the onions, plus the lemon juice in it. Set that to the side. So what you do is you get an avocado. It's gonna be more like a guac, like the base instead of the beans. You're gonna end up cutting it in half. No seed, of course. We don't eat the seeds. I prefer to cut them like this, in slices like that. That way it's easier to take them out of the avocado because you can always just squeeze the back, and they usually all slide up. My little trick that I like to do is put them in a little sandwich bag and then mash them up. That way, you save on bowls or whatever. You can just put it in there and just squeeze everything out. Um, then you end up getting a tomato, and then you cut that into chunks. That's gonna be for a little bit later. The chicken that I got was a thin sliced chicken breast. That's at my local grocery store. I prefer getting these thin sliced ones than an actual solid breast because they're easier to cook and it's a lot faster. And I like to cut them in long strips like this. So when you cook them, again, everything's on a time basis now. They cook, and here's what it pretty much looks like while it's cooking. I have a couple of shots of that in there. Um, Here's the next shot. When they're done cooking, I end up cutting them up in little squares. That way you can cover the chips individually. Because some restaurants, when you go, they'll serve it to you in like a little plate of like 9 chips. So this is what it's gonna kind of look like with a little bit of the Mexican cheese on top. I threw it in the microwave for about 30 seconds just so the cheese can melt. This is what the end result. Um, I really enjoy this dish. The mushroom, since it absorbs so much of everything, it tastes very good, and I highly recommend you guys try this. As you can tell, that was the entire dish right there. Like I said, everything was under $10. Um, and it was actually really good. There should be a description for every picture. Recording this after everything else. So if you like what you see, give it a thumbs up. If you don't like what you see, give it a thumbs down. But we already know everybody loves to eat, so you should give it a thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button. Show a little love right there. Give me a little subscribe love right there if you want to call it. You can follow me on Instagram at 10mildeal. Twitter, the same thing, 10mildeal. You can email me at 10mildeal@gmail.com. That's 10mildeal at gmail.com. Or you can comment on the picture below. Any feedback would be nice. This is going to be one of many. Like I said, I'm still trying to figure everything out, trying to get everything on the up and up to make sure it comes out good for all you guys. So whenever somebody tells you, what's the deal is, tell them it's the meal deal. Bye.